Scottie Maurice Pippen is a retired American professional basketball player who played in the National Basketball Association. He is most remembered for his time with the Chicago Bulls, with whom he was instrumental in 6 NBA titles and their record 1995-96 season of 72 wins. Pippen, along with Michael Jordan, played an important role in transforming the Bulls team into a vehicle for popularizing the NBA around the world during the 1990s. Considered one of the best small forwards of all time, Pippen was named to the NBA All-Defensive First Team 8 consecutive times and the All-NBA First Team 3 times. He was a 7-time NBA All-Star and was the NBA All-Star Game MVP in 1994. He was named one of the 50 greatest players in NBA history during the 1996-97 season, and is one of 4 players to have his jersey retired by the Chicago Bulls. He played a key role on both the 1992 Chicago Bulls championship team and the 1996 Chicago Bulls championship team, which were selected as 2 of the greatest teams in NBA history. His biography on the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame's website states, "The multidimensional Pippen ran the court like a point guard, attacked the boards like a power forward, and swished the nets like a shooting guard." During his 17-year career, he played 12 seasons with the Bulls, 1 with the Houston Rockets and 4 with the Portland Trail Blazers, making the postseason 16 straight times. Pippen is also the only person to have won an NBA title and Olympic gold medal in the same year twice. He was a part of the 1992 U.S. Olympic Dream Team, which beat its opponents by an average of 44 points. Pippen was also a key figure in the 1996 Olympic team, alongside former Dream Team members Karl Malone, John Stockton, and Charles Barkley, as well as newer faces such as Penny Hardaway and Grant Hill. He wore number 8 during both years. Pippen is a 2-time inductee into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame, being inducted for both on August 13, 2010. The Chicago Bulls retired his number 33. His college, University of Central Arkansas, retired his number 33 as well. He was named the greatest defensive small forward ever in NBA history by Bleacher Report in an article titled The 60 Greatest Defensive Players in NBA History. The same website placed him at number 4 on their greatest small forwards in NBA history list, behind John Havlicek, LeBron James and Larry Bird. Pippen and Jordan have been ranked as the greatest duo of all time by several websites and magazines. Early life: Scottie Pippen was born on September 25, 1965, in Hamburg, Arkansas, the youngest of 12 children born to Ethel and Preston Pippen. Pippen's mother was 6 feet tall and his father was 6'1". All of their children were tall, with Scottie being the tallest. His parents could not afford to send their other children to college. His father worked in a paper mill until a stroke paralyzed his right side, prevented him from walking and affected his speech. Pippen attended Hamburg High School. Playing point guard, he led his team to the state playoffs and earned all-conference honors as a senior. He was not offered any college scholarships. Pippen began his college-playing career at the University of Central Arkansas in Conway as a 6'1" walk-on. He did not receive much recognition in college because the school played in the NAIA. He eventually had a growth spurt to 6'8", and his per-game averages of 23.6 points, 10 rebounds, 4.3 assists and near 60% field goal shooting earned the Central Arkansas Senior Consensus NAIA All-American honors in 1987, drawing the attention of NBA scouts. NBA career: early career, he was selected 5th overall in the 1987 NBA draft by the Seattle Supersonics and traded to the Chicago Bulls for Olden Polinis and future draft pick options. Pippen became part of Chicago's young forward tandem with 6'10" power forward Horace Grant, although both came off the bench to back up Brad Sellers and Charles Oakley respectively, during their rookie seasons. Scottie made his NBA debut on November 7, 1987 when the Chicago Bulls faced the Philadelphia 76ers as their first game of the season. He finished the game with 10 points, 2 steals, 4 assists and 1 rebound in 23 minutes of play. The Bulls won their season-opening game 104-94. With fellow Bull Michael Jordan as a motivational and instructional mentor, Pippen refined his skills and slowly developed many new ones over his career. Jordan and Pippen frequently played one-on-one outside of team practices simply to hone each other's skills on offense and defense. Pippen claimed the starting small forward position during the 1988 NBA playoffs, helping the Jordan-led Bulls to reach the conference semifinals for the first time in over a decade. Pippen emerged as one of the league's premier young forwards at the turn of the decade, recording then career highs in points, rebounds, and field goal shooting as well as being the NBA's number 3 leader in steals. These feats earned Pippen his debut NBA All-Star selection in 1990. Pippen continued to improve, helping the Bulls to the conference finals in 1989 and 1990. However, they lost both conference finals to the Detroit Pistons, and in 1990, Pippen suffered a severe migraine in Game 7 as the Bulls lost 93-74. The Bulls' first three-peat, in 1991, Pippen emerged as the Bulls' primary defensive stopper and a versatile scoring threat in Phil Jackson's triangle offense. He helped lead the Bulls to their first 3 NBA championships. Pippen earned 10 NBA All-Defensive Team nods, including 8 on the first team. In 1992, he was named to the original Dream Team which competed in the Olympics in Barcelona, Spain. With the U.S. winning the gold medal, Pippen and Jordan became the first players to win both an NBA championship and an Olympic gold medal in the same year. Pippen without Jordan, Michael Jordan retired before the 1993-94 season, due to the death of his father James A. Jordan, Sr., and in his absence Pippen emerged from Jordan's shadow. That year, he earned All-Star Game MVP honors and led the Bulls in scoring, assists, and blocks, and was second in the NBA in steals per game, averaging 22.0 points, 8.7 rebounds, 5.6 assists, 2.9 steals, and 0.8 blocks per game, while shooting 49.1% from the field and a career-best 32% from the three-point line. For his efforts, he earned the first of 3 straight All-NBA first-team selections, and he finished third in MVP voting. The Bulls finished the season with 55 wins, only 2 fewer than the year before. However, the most infamous episode of Pippen's career came in his first year without Jordan. In the 1994 NBA playoffs, the Eastern Conference semifinals pitted the Bulls against the New York Knicks, whom the Bulls had dispatched en route to a championship each of the previous 3 seasons. On May 13, 1994, down 2-0 in the series in Game 3, Bulls coach Phil Jackson needed a big play from his team to have any chance of going on to the conference finals. With 1.8 seconds left and the score tied at 102, Jackson designed the last play for rookie Tony Kukoc, with Pippen instructed to inbound the basketball. Pippen, who had been the Bulls' leader all season long in Jordan's absence, was so angered by Jackson's decision to not let him take the potential game winner that he refused to leave the bench and re-enter the game when the timeout was over. Although Kukoc did hit the game winner, a 23-foot fadeaway jumper at the buzzer, there was little celebrating to be done by the Bulls, as television cameras caught an unsmiling Phil Jackson storming off the court. Scottie asked out of the play, Jackson told reporters moments later in the post-game interview. Teammate Steve Kerr elaborated when asked to recall the event, "I don't know what got into Pippen. He is such a great teammate and maybe the pressure was getting to him and he just could not take it anymore. No one knows for sure but he is a team player." In Game 6, Pippen made the signature play of his career. Midway in the third quarter, Pippen received the ball during a Bulls fast break, charging toward the basket. As center Patrick Ewing jumped up to defend the shot, Pippen fully extended the ball out, absorbing body contact and a foul from Ewing, and slammed the ball through the hoop with Ewing's hand in his face. Pippen landed several feet away from the basket along the baseline, incidentally standing over a fallen Ewing. He then made taunting remarks to both Ewing and then Spike Lee, who was standing courtside supporting the Knicks, thus receiving a technical foul. This extended the Bulls' lead to 17. They won 93-79. However, the Bulls went on to lose the 1994 NBA Eastern Conference semifinals against the Knicks in 7 games. A key play occurred in the series at the end of Game 5 when Pippen was called by referee Hugh Hollins for a questionable touch foul on the Knicks' Hubert Davis in the waning seconds of the game, which allowed the Knicks to shoot the game-winning free throws. This helped lead the Knicks to a 7-game series victory. All 7 games were won by the home team, and the Knicks had home court advantage. Trade rumors involving Pippen escalated during the 1994 off-season. Jerry Krause, the Bulls' general manager, was reportedly looking to ship Pippen off to the Seattle Supersonics in exchange for All-Star forward Shawn Kemp, moving Tony Kukoc into Pippen's position as starting small forward with Kemp filling in the vacant starting power forward position in place of Horace Grant, a free agent who left the Bulls for the up-and-coming Orlando Magic during the off-season. However, the trade was never made and those rumors were put to rest once it was announced that Michael Jordan would be returning to the Bulls late in the 1994-95 season. The Pippen-led Bulls did not fare nearly as well in the 1994-95 season as they had in the season before. In fact, for the first time in years they were in danger of missing the playoffs. The Bulls were just 34-31 prior to Jordan's return for the final 17 games, and Jordan led them to a 13-4 record to close the regular season. Still, Pippen finished the 1994-95 season leading the Bulls in every major statistical category: points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks, becoming only the second player in NBA history to accomplish this. The Bulls' second three-peat, with the return of Jordan and the addition of two-time champion Dennis Rodman, the Bulls posted the best regular season record in NBA history in 1995-96 en route to winning their 4th title against the Seattle Supersonics. Later that year, Pippen became the first person to win an NBA championship and an Olympic gold medal in the same year twice, playing for Team USA at the Atlanta Olympics. Coming back from their 4th NBA championship and a record-breaking 72-10 season, the Chicago Bulls seemed to have little less to prove. Phil Jackson wanted to relieve the team of some pressure and therefore started practicing for the season very slowly while giving the Bulls more time to rest. The Bulls opened the season 17-1 and had a league-best record of 42-6 when entering the All-Star break. Both Pippen and Jordan were selected as one of the NBA's 50 greatest players due to the league celebrating its 50th season. The ceremony was held at halftime of the 1997 NBA All-Star Game, which took place on February 9, 1997. Phil Jackson, the Chicago Bulls head coach, was honored as one of the 10 greatest coaches in NBA history, while the 1992 Chicago Bulls championship team and the 1996 Chicago Bulls championship team, on which Scottie played key roles, were selected as 2 of the greatest teams in NBA history. In the All-Star Game itself, Pippen was 4-9 from the field, finishing with 8 points as well as 3 rebounds and 2 assists in 25 minutes of play. The East defeat the West 132-120 and Glenn Rice was crowned the All-Star Game MVP. Pippen scored a career high of 47 points in a 134-123 win over the Denver Nuggets on February 18. He was 19-27 from the field and in addition grabbed 4 rebounds, dished out 5 assists and had 2 steals in 41 minutes of play. On February 23, Pippen was voted Player of the Week for his efforts in the week of February 17. This would be his 5th time to receive that honor and also his last. But as the league entered its final weeks, the joy that had seemed to envelop the Bulls quickly began to evaporate. They encountered their first major roadblocks in their drive to win their 5th NBA championship as they lost several of their key players such as Bill Wennington, who had a ruptured tendon in his left foot, Dennis Rodman, who had injured his knee, and Tony Kukoc, who had an inflamed sole on his right foot. This put even more pressure on Scottie and Michael to try to keep Chicago from losing more games. Chicago finished a league-best 69-13 record. In the final game of the regular season, Scottie missed a game-winning three-pointer which led to the Bulls failing to have back-to-back 70-win seasons. For his efforts in the 1996-97 NBA season, Pippen earned NBA All-Defensive First Team honors for the 7th consecutive time as well as All-NBA Second Team honors. Despite injuring his foot in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Miami Heat, Pippen helped the Bulls to an 84-82 victory over the Utah Jazz in Game 1 of the NBA Finals. He scored 27 points while Jordan scored 31. The Bulls trailed by 1 in the fourth, yet were able to grab an 81-79 lead after Pippen blocked Antoine Carr, then made his third three-pointer with 1:11 remaining. However, John Stockton answered with a three of his own with 51.7 seconds left to give Utah an 82-81 lead. Michael Jordan made one of two free throws with 35.8 seconds left to tie it at 82. Then, Karl Malone was fouled by Rodman with 9.2 seconds left and had a chance to give Utah the lead. Scottie famously psyched him out, saying, "Just remember, the mailman doesn't deliver on Sundays, Karl," before he stepped up to the line. He missed them both. Jordan got the rebound and quickly called a timeout with 7.5 seconds left. With the game on the line, the Bulls put the ball in Jordan's hands. He dribbled out most of the waning seconds, then launched a 20-footer that went in at the buzzer to give Chicago a 1-0 series lead. Pippen and Jordan dominated Game 2, defeating the Jazz by 12 points. The Bulls struggled in Game 3. Although Pippen tied a then-finals record of 7 three-pointers, they still lost 104-93. After losing the next game, the Bulls won Game 5, which is also known as the flu game, since Michael Jordan was battling illness. Pippen finished with 17 points, 10 rebounds and 1 steal in 45 minutes. With only a few seconds remaining and the game's result safely in Chicago's favor, Jordan collapsed into Pippen's arms, creating an iconic image that has come to symbolize the flu game. During Game 6 of the 1997 NBA Finals, Pippen made one of his greatest plays. Trailing by 2, the Jazz looked for a final shot to stay alive, but Pippen knocked away Breon Russell's inbounds pass intended for Shandon Anderson and rolled the ball over to Tony Kukoc, who dunked the final 2 points of the game to give the Bulls a 90-86 lead, clinching the championship. Pippen finished the game with 23 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists and 2 blocks in 43 minutes of play. Afterwards, Jordan was named Finals MVP for the 5th time. Amid speculation that the 1997-98 season would be the last in Chicago for Pippen, Jordan, and Jackson, the Bulls followed up by playing against the Jazz again in the 1998 NBA Finals to win their second three-peat. Later career. After being in Chicago for 11 seasons, Pippen, the second all-time leader in points, assists, and steals in Bulls franchise history, was traded to the Houston Rockets for the lockout-shortened season of 1998-99. Pippen's trade to Houston received much publicity, including his only solo cover of Sports Illustrated. He teamed with Hakeem Olajuwon and Charles Barkley, but there were chemistry problems, especially with Barkley. In that season, the Rockets went 31-19, but lost to the Lakers in the first round of the playoffs, 3-1. On April 22, 1999, Pippen was detained under suspicion of driving while intoxicated, but the charges were later dropped due to insufficient evidence. Following the lockout-shortened season in Houston, Pippen was traded in the off-season to the Portland Trail Blazers, whom he helped to the Western Conference Finals. But once there, they lost to the eventual champion Los Angeles Lakers in 7 games, despite holding a 15-point lead in the fourth quarter of Game 7. Pippen played on for several more seasons in Portland, but they never advanced that far again in the playoffs. After the 2002-03 season, he signed once more with the Bulls, but due to injuries, he was only able to play for 23 games in 2003-04 and retired shortly after the season. Pippen was a near-constant presence in the NBA playoffs during his career, reaching the playoffs 16 straight years, and he still leads the NBA in career playoff steals, with 395. Retirement. The Chicago Bulls retired Pippen's jersey number in a ceremony on December 9, 2005. The team played against the Los Angeles Lakers that night and Pippen was reunited with Phil Jackson, Michael Jordan, Dennis Rodman and Horace Grant during the ceremony. Pippen's 33 joined Michael Jordan's 23, Bob Love's 10, and Jerry Sloan's 4 as the only numbers retired by the Bulls. In January 2008, Pippen made a brief comeback to professional basketball at age 42, when he made a tour of Scandinavia and played 2 games for top Finnish league team Torpen Pojat, and top Swedish league team Sundsvall. In his first game, on January 4, Pippen scored 12 points in Tapo's 93-81 win over Pavu. He registered 9 points and 9 rebounds in a 98-85 win over Honka on January 5. In his third game of the tour, Pippen registered 21 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists and 2 steals in 30 minutes in a 102-74 Sundsvall Dragons win over Akropol of Rinkaby. The Dragons paid Pippen $66,000 for his appearance. Pippen returned to the Bulls on July 15, 2010 as a team ambassador. In 2012, he was named senior advisor to Michael Reinsdorf, the Bulls president and COO. In order to commemorate the 20th anniversary of their first NBA championship in 1991, the Chicago Bulls organization honored the 1991 Chicago Bulls championship team in a ceremony during halftime of a game versus the Utah Jazz on March 12, 2011. Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan both attended and participated in the celebration, where they were reunited with their former teammates John Paxson, Horace Grant, Stacey King, Craig Hodges, Will Perdue, Scott Williams, Cliff Livingston, Dennis Hobson and assistant coach Johnny Bark. Former head coach Phil Jackson did not participate but gave a speech via a video message. Former Bulls broadcaster Jim Durham emceed the halftime ceremony. Scottie started in the 2011 NBA All-Star Celebrity Game for the East squad alongside his former 1992 Dream Team teammate Chris Mullin. He was 6'8" from the field and topped the game's scoring list with 17 points. The East squad ended up defeating the West squad 54-49. One of the highlights of the game was Pippen's block on singer Justin Bieber, who ended up being voted as the MVP of the game. In a later interview, Pippen commented on Bieber's performance, "He played pretty well, but he has an ugly shot." Player profile: Pippen was renowned for his defensive abilities, having made the NBA All-Defensive Team 10 consecutive years during his career and leading the league in steals in 1994-95. Phil Jackson once described him as a one-man wrecking crew, capable of guarding anyone from the point guard to the center position. Pippen is one of 3 NBA players to record 200 steals and 100 blocks in a season, and he also has the record for most career steals in the playoffs. He was skilled at staying in front of his man on defense, and particularly effective as a help defender, with his long arms in traps. He was also capable of making come-from-behind blocks. On offense, Pippen relied primarily upon his remarkable athleticism to gain an advantage towards the basket and slashed towards the basket for higher percentage shots. Early in his career, particularly, Pippen was not an adept jump shooter, and struggled when shooting directly on a line to the basket. He favored shooting his jump shots on angles, such as along the free throw line extended, such that he could bank the ball off the backboard into the basket. He honed this shot over the course of his career and became more effective at scoring from distance late in his career. Legacy: Pippen is remembered as one of the most versatile and agile players, and perhaps most notably as one of the greatest defenders ever. Much like fellow Chicago Bull Michael Jordan, he provided tenacious on-the-ball perimeter defense, or tough interior defense, and was particularly effective as a help defender. He was gifted with extraordinary athleticism, even compared with other professional athletes, and skills in areas that bode well for basketball. His unusually long arms wingspan, and jumping agility helped him clog the passing lanes on defense, to block shots from behind on players that had managed to pass by him, to grab out-of-reach rebounds, to make unusual plays in mid-air, and to make passes around defenders that most players are physically unable to make. He often led the Bulls in assists and blocks as a result. Pippen was also a selfless player. His team-focused approach to the game was a key component in the Bulls championships. Pippen's career assists total of 6,135 is a testament to that approach. It was 23rd all-time among all players when he retired. His intense work ethic and athletic physique gave him the ability to consistently make highlight reel plays, such as applying defensive intensity, forcing a turnover, stealing the ball and starting a one-man fast break that he would finish with a thunderous slam dunk. As Pippen himself has attested, he and Jordan would compete to see who could force more turnovers and produce more offense from defense in each game. During the 1990 slam dunk contest, Scottie exhibited his leaping ability with a dunk from the free throw line. He was an athletic finisher at the rim, both with dunks and a skillful finger roll that he added to his skill set over time. He was also a prolific perimeter shooter, taking about 3,000 and making almost 1,000 three-pointers in his career. Personal. Pippen has been married twice. Once to Karen McCollum, and currently to Laza Yaunen. With Karen he had a son, Antron. In February 2011, he placed his $16 million mansion in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, on the market. In March 2011, a yard sale was held at his former home in Highland Park, Illinois. His current wife, Laza, starred in the TV show The Real Housewives of Miami. On July 11, 2013, Cameron Shafigi filed a $4 million lawsuit against Pippen in Los Angeles Superior Court over an incident that occurred on June 23, 2013 at the Malibu restaurant Nobu. Shafigi said that he was physically attacked by Pippen after taking pictures of Pippen inside and outside the restaurant. Shafigi was then taken to a hospital. On August 27, 2013, the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office announced that charges would not be filed against Pippen. In popular culture, Scottie Pippen has been referenced in several songs, some of which include Fredro Starr's What If, Biggie Smalls' Microphone Murderer, Snoop Dogg's Hoop Dreams, the Weeknd's The Morning, Method Man and Redman's YOU, and many more. Rapper Curren $Y released a song titled Scottie Pippen in the Basketball Player's Honor, which was produced by The Alchemist. Scottie Pippen's and Michael Jordan's characters were portrayed in the first episode of the 11th season of Family Guy titled Into Fat Air. Pippen's likeness was featured in a video game titled Slam City with Scottie Pippen. The game itself is a FMV basketball video game developed by Digital Pictures for the PC and CD-ROM-based video game consoles such as the Sega CD. In the game, players face various opponents, including Pippen himself, in one-on-one games of basketball. One of Scottie's most memorable moves, the infamous dunk over former New York Knicks center Patrick Ewing, was featured in a documentary film released by TNT titled Posterized. Reggie Miller compared the intensity of the dunk to the knockout given to boxer Joe Frazier by George Foreman. Pippen was featured in a segment of the documentary film Hardwood Heroes, which was released in 1998. The film also features Clyde Drexler, Glenn Rice and others. In 1998, amongst other NBA players, he appeared as a cameo in Spike Lee's sports drama film He Got Game. In 2009, Pippen appeared in the movie Midgets vs. Mascots, which was the last movie featuring Gary Coleman. In 2010, Pippen voiced an animated version of himself in the Love Roller Coaster episode of The Cleveland Show. Career statistics, regular season averages, playoff averages, salaries, total, $109,192,430, career highs, achievements, 21 career triple-doubles, led the league in steals and steals per game in 1994 €95. His 10 NBA All-Defensive honors and 8 NBA All-Defensive First-Team honors are one shy of the NBA record. Six-time NBA champion, NBA career playoff steals leader, member of the Olympic gold medal-winning USA men's national basketball teams in 1992 and 1996, selected in 1996 as one of the 50 greatest players in NBA history, elected to the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame in 2010. The 1992 Olympic basketball Dream Team, of which he was a member, was also elected to the Hall of Fame in 2010. Pippen is one of 2 NBA players known to have recorded 5 steals and 5 blocks in a playoff game, which he did against the Detroit Pistons on May 19, 1991. Hakeem Olajuwon performed the feat twice. NBA records, set with Michael Jordan, 9th pair of teammates in NBA history to score 40 or more points in the same game, Chicago Bulls at Indiana Pacers, 01996-02-18-0000 February 18, 1996, Pippen, 40 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 steals in 44 minutes, Jordan, 44 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks in 42 minutes, one of at least 2 pairs of teammates in NBA history to record triple-doubles in the same game, Chicago Bulls vs. Los Angeles Clippers, 01989-01-03-0000 January 3, 1989, Pippen, 15 points, 10 rebounds, 12 assists in 42 minutes, Jordan, 41 points, 10 rebounds, 11 assists in 47 minutes, Jason Kidd and Vince Carter achieved this feat as well on 02007-04-07-0000 April 7, 2007, playoffs, steals, career, 395, steals, quarter, 4, third quarter, versus Milwaukee Bucks, 01990-04-29-0000 April 29, 1990, tied with many other players, other records, one of 3 players in NBA history to record 200 steals and 100 blocked shots in a season, 211 steals, 101 blocks, Michael Jordan and Hakeem Olajuwon are the only other players to do so. Second player in NBA history to lead his team in all 5 major statistics, 1,692 points, 639 rebounds, 409 assists, 232 steals and 89 blocks, Dave Cowens, Kevin Garnett and LeBron James are the only other players to do so. Only player in history to win a NBA championship and Olympic gold medal in the same year twice, Chicago Bulls franchise records. Note, Pippen is second in most career totals for the Bulls, both in the regular season and playoffs, trailing only Michael Jordan. Regular season, highest field goal percentage, game, .941, versus Charlotte Hornets, 01991-02-23-0000 February 23, 1991, 3-point field goal attempts, career, 2031, personal fouls, career, 2534, turnovers, game, 12, twice, 12, at New Jersey Nets, 01990-02-25-0000 February 25, 1990, 12, at Houston Rockets, 01996-01-30-0000 January 30, 1996, playoffs, 3-point field goals made, career, 161, 3-point field goals made, game, 7, at Utah Jazz, 01997-06-06-0000 June 6, 1997, 3-point field goals made, quarter, 4, second quarter, at Utah Jazz, 01997-06-06-0000 June 6, 1997, 3-point field goals made, overtime, 1, at New York Knicks, 01996. 05-11-0000 May 11, 1996, 3-point field goal attempts, career, 531, 3-point field goal attempts, overtime, 3, at New York Knicks, 01996-05-11-0000 May 11, 1996, rebounds, career, 1,366, rebounds, overtime, 3, versus New Jersey Nets, 01998-04-24-0000 April 24, 1998, offensive rebounds, overtime, 2, versus Cleveland Cavaliers. 01989-05-05-0000 May 5, 1989, tied by Derrick Rose, defensive rebounds, overtime, 2, versus New Jersey Nets, 01998-04-24-0000 April 24, 1998, tied with other players, assists, overtime, 2, at New York Knicks, 01989-05-09-0000 May 9, 1989, tied by Derrick Rose, steals, quarter, 4, third quarter, versus Milwaukee Bucks. 01990-04-29-0000 April 29, 1990, tied with Horace Grant, blocked shots, career, 171, physical stats, height, 6 feet 8 inches, arm span, 88 inches, weight, 212 pounds, weight, 228 pounds, shoe size, 14 US, see also. List of National Basketball Association career assists leaders, list of National Basketball Association career steals leaders, list of National Basketball Association career turnovers leaders, list of National Basketball Association career minutes played leaders, list of National Basketball Association career playoff scoring leaders, list of National Basketball Association career playoff rebounding leaders, list of National Basketball Association career playoff assists leaders, list of National Basketball Association career playoff steals leaders, list of National Basketball Association career playoff blocks leaders, list of National Basketball Association career playoff turnovers leaders, list of National Basketball Association career playoff three-point scoring leaders, list of National Basketball Association career playoff free throw scoring leaders, list of National Basketball Association players with 1,000 games played, list of National Basketball Association players with 9 or more steals in a game, list of NBA players with most championships. Notes: NBA.com has listed Pippen at both 6EFT7 and 6EFT8 References. External links, career statistics and player information from NBA.com, or a basketball-reference.com. Scottie Pippen at the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame, Scottie Pippen at databasebasketball.com, NBA.com, Scottie Pippen summary.